What's going on, everyone? So it's been about a week since I've uploaded a video. We got a little bit of time frame in between, and I'm not going to be covering this car today. I want a whole little special video on this car. We've got a lot of interest in our turbo kit for the S2000. I want to, for the final video on this, I want to do its own little video. Now with this, today's video that you're watching, there's a lot of random stuff. And if you watch the last couple of weeks, you know I said I'm going to cover some stuff and what it takes to run a shop, the stuff you don't see, the behind the scenes. Now there's some stuff that I did not purposely mean to get. It fell into place. And you're going to see what I'm talking about. There's some stuff with the dyno, maintenance stuff, that it seemed to be one thing after another. So we got that going on. We have some other random stuff involving family life. Yes, I don't live here 24/7. I do have a family, and it takes balance to get the family and work life and a happy life. So you're going to see a little bit about that. Some other random stuff. We got some upgrades next door, and you know, that's about it. I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate the comments. It seems like it's almost like half and half. Some people love the automotive side of it, and then the other people, I'm not saying they don't love the automotive side of stuff, they love seeing what it takes, the behind the scenes, to run a business, to do that is just not, you know, day in and day out, or I should say, every video I'm doing is the same thing. So I'm trying to show you guys, you know, what it takes, the stuff you don't see, and I'll tell you what, keep on watching. You're gonna see we replaced the brakes on this dyno. I thought it was gonna be a lot easier than it was. We ran into a couple issues more so. Just watch. I appreciate everybody for watching. Please like and share. It helps us tremendously grow this channel. I am not getting paid for this. I'm not blatantly advertising stuff, telling you to go buy this or get a coupon. So anything to help me, please do. And hopefully you enjoy the rest of this video. So since I covered this before, I want to cover it now. We're going to replace the brakes on the dyno. You can see the pin that is right there. There is a cotter pin right there that has to come out. So we'll take the cotter pin out. We're going to slide it. Right now our compressor is airing up. Once the compressor is aired up, the brake itself will release, and then we can slide it out. So let me put the phone down and we'll get that covered too. So got the new pad going in. I was actually wrong on the cotter pin itself. The cotter pin actually won't come out because it hits the dyno itself. It's been a while since I actually replaced them, and since it's a very dirty job, my hands are staying clean while he's doing all the hard work, so I can capture this on video. We're trying not to get the pad with any grease or dirt on it, but at the same time, you know, it's when a car's on the dyno too and it's leaking stuff, it's going to get stuff on the pad no matter what. It is a pain because of the workable area itself. The shoe, I guess you can call it, that's what I would call it, is fairly large, and you can see the piece that he's going to slide right back in now. He's going to hold it and retain it, and we got to just do the other side, then it's done. So just it's been a little bit since I've replaced them, so why that little pin is in there, I think the whole assembly is taken out and then it's installed. We were looking at trying to do that too, but it seemed like it just didn't want to cooperate, so this seems like the best bet. So we're working on the other side now. Camera might not want to focus. The retaining bracket is off now. You can see him just pull it out, even though the camera wants to focus on the grate. At the same time too, what I'm also doing is making sure that we don't lose air pressure. If we were to lose air pressure, the brake would want to shut or close, and we don't want anything moving around when we're working down there. So we basically have the compressor locked out right now so nobody messes with it or no accidents occur. Putting in the new pad, as you can see, and you know, in the first little clip about the pin, I will say, you know, we don't replace the dyno brakes every other week or every month, so we do get a good amount of life out of them. Even though You know, this thing is constantly on. The main reason I'm doing it right now too is because the stopping, I don't want to say stopping distance, but how long it's taking right now to stop a car. It's not something that I like. It should take there's a time period in my head, you know, that it needs to take, and that's why we're replacing them right now. So the camera just does not like to focus, but we're gonna get this one in, get it done, and I'll be back. So the pads are definitely cracked. That wasn't helping. When I was looking at them before, I didn't even look on the side for the crack. I was just looking how thick they were. But you can also see, I put my foot right here and hold it, you can see what's actually happening. The pad is kind of starting to separate, which definitely is not helping stopping. So new brakes should definitely help. So got the new brakes on the dyno, and does this car look familiar? So if you're not familiar with this car, I'll send the video, or the link will be down below from the last time this was here on video. If you do recall, it was having issues on the dyno, down power, something didn't seem right. I ended it short. Customer followed up with me and of course is back. They not only found a lobe inside the head that was bad, the inner valve spring part on, I guess, one of the cylinders was broken. So they have a new head on there, or it was rebuilt. Car is now acting different and it's making the power that it wants to. Unfortunately, speaking about the new brakes on the dyno, they stop amazing, no complaints, but as I was saying too, we already got more oil that is leaking, and it's actually shooting it. You can see it shooting it all to the back because it's touching the dyno itself, and it's actually shooting it to the front. See that trail? So as far as when we were underneath there, and I was saying how well the brakes are going to get oil on them anyways. Oh, there you go. So first car up is what it is. So I'm going to finish with this tune, get this one going, and on to the next one, and on to everything else that we have going on, which I'll make sure that I cover. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like a curse or whatever, but it seems like when you fix something, something else breaks. Well, this is the RPM pickup that goes around either, this one goes around a spark plug wire. I have another one that goes around like the coil pack wiring. This just completely broke out of nowhere. There's usually these pieces inside of here crack because they're very fragile. They're not even cracked. I'm assuming somewhere in the connection it just broke. So that was fun having to diagnose that too while I'm on the dyno trying to do a dyno tune. Just more stuff that you don't see behind the scenes that it takes to operate and run a business. So let's go on to the next clip. So we have this BMW here that I am covering as we're working on it, just because we're so busy, and I'm just trying to get some more stuff in videos besides just me talking. Well, clearly you can see he's working, and I don't want to interrupt him. So the long short of the story, long story short, there you go. So what I'm trying to say is this car I believe came straight from an auction. I think the customer actually walked in and told us that he just bought it. And ultimately we see a lot of these cars, we see a lot of problems where guys will buy a car from an auction and come here, and then they, you know, will say it doesn't run right. This one specifically, it said on the window E85 only, so he didn't even really know what gas to put in. When we took the gas out and we drained it and all that stuff, we were under, what was the conclusion? It's not an E85, or we don't believe it's on E85?
Not from what we can tell, it wasn't consistent.
Okay, so from what we can tell that it's not on E85. Ultimately what happens is when these cars go to auction, they go to auctions for a couple reasons, but usually they get repoed. And before a car gets repoed, the customer will take everything and anything out of it. We have literally seen cars come from an auction. This was a dealership, I remember, that this was an interesting story. we popped the hood and noticed like everything was missing. They took off every aftermarket part, but they didn't even put anything back in it. It was actually missing the axles. That was the first. I've never seen somebody actually pull the axles out of a car. And as far as I know, because of the car, it was a brand new Honda Civic. The axles weren't, they shouldn't have been aftermarket. They were probably stock, I would assume. It was just really confusing. But, you know, I guess you can say some people get desperate. And, you know, it's unfortunate the circumstances when a car has to get repoed. I don't think there's ever a good circumstance where a car is getting repoed and you're happy. So right now what we're doing is installing the JB4. We do feel like this car had one prior and they took everything off. So what we're trying just to do is get this thing running like it should be and back to the customer so he can be happy and he can either keep the car or sell it and make a profit. I don't know any about that. That's on his side. You know, I don't know how much he paid for the car. I don't know how much he's planning on putting in, or if he's trying to keep the car for himself or a family member. But, and right now we're just running all the wires where they need to be ran. We'll get the JB4 installed and we'll continue on with this one. But just another car that, or just another project that you might not know or even think about, like cars coming straight from an auction right to here so we can make them run right. That's what we do. So the last video I featured this Honda Odyssey routine maintenance we're doing, and I said in the video how stuff like this isn't fun and why we don't document it, but I do want to document something. And this is basically, this really can show you how a curveball can be thrown into the mix and cause delays that, you know, we wouldn't expect. So originally the car came in for a small little tune-up, valve cover gaskets and all that fun stuff, but look what we found. I've never seen this before. If maybe, you know, if you're a mechanic or yourself and you've seen it, maybe it's common in the vans. The actual valve cover is cracked, and I don't think I could turn the flash on, but you can see it's not just cracked in one spot. It's cracked there, it's cracked there, and it is cracked. It's cracked on every single one. So I mean, if this is a common issue on these vans and these engines, I'm not aware, but I'll be the first one to say I'm not doing research on you know, Honda Odyssey vans and what's prone to failing and whatnot. I mean, unless you really own one, who is? So we are off to Target. A little bit of a father-daughter trip. I know they want some kind of makeup. They said they have their own money. I need to remember, and they're gonna remind me, but they probably won't, to get some duct tape, because I do believe I have a rake, but I think it's kind of broken. I really don't want to buy a new one from Target, so we're gonna go to Target and see if we can make it back in time, and either we'll do the bushes before or after the movie we're going to see. Which, what is the actual name of the movie? Anybody? Anybody? Nobody? I will get the name of the movie and then I'll come back and see. So, Elemental, there you go. So, I'll get some of that footage too, just a little bit of stuff that, on top of running the business, other stuff that I do and have to do around the house, and or just taking a trip to Target to get some sort of makeup. So we have our, well, you wanted to be on camera, it looked like. We did remember duct tape. It was our last roll. Got some hamburger buns. I'm gonna grill tonight. Hopefully it doesn't rain. And they got their mascara, some body scrub. I think it was pineapple. So if you come to work and I'm smelling good, that's why. So just got back from Target. Turned the TV on. Gonna watch a little bit of the Sox game before our movie starts. And I saw a text message from a customer. Some customers, some clients, specifically if you're racing your car a lot, have direct access to me. I opened up the text message. He was having issues with his TPS. He said, you know, can you please call me? Gave him a call. Talked to him about what can possibly be happening with the TPS. Sounds like we narrowed it down to a wiring issue, so he's going to try to fix it. It's his last day at this event. I believe it's I believe he's at Gingerman. It's I'll try to if I can insert a picture of over me talking, I'll insert a picture right after. It's Red Miata that we have tuned, and we have been working with this client for some time now. He built everything. This is the stuff that you wouldn't see or know that we even probably offer this. Besides the TPS, he filled me in on the actual weekend and how everything went. He said the car is just he's so amazed how fast it is. And I said, hey, you owe that to yourself, because he built the motor. I just tuned it. He said he was passing cars that just shocked him, and I think a lot of people are shocked by that car too when they get passed by a Miata. So waiting for our movie to start. I was debating on cutting the bushes before the movie. I don't want to be hot and sweaty before going to sit in a movie. And Sundays, it is Sunday. I like to at least have one day where I can kind of rest and recoup. So even if I am doing stuff outside with the bushes today, it's not that much work, and spend some family time. Yesterday, got some family time in too, but me and my nephew are working on my parents. We have to grade the back where they had a pool. So we've been doing that, and it's hot out. It is about 90 to 95 degrees over here. We were in direct sun. I'm a little bit tan. I don't know if you could tell in the video, but that's about it. So if I get out there and do the bushes today, I'll just that'll be the last little personal stuff in this video. We're back to work, of course, on Monday. Busy week, as it has been for. It seems like I don't even know. We usually slow down a little bit in the wintertime, and that hasn't been the case for at least the last 2 to 4 years, I would say. But yeah, as I said, I like to recharge a little bit, get my energy back, and we'll see if we can fit the bushes in today. And the kids are willing to help. Their stuff that they bought at Target was a little bit more expensive than the money that they had, and I said, no big deal, I'll cover you, just help me with the bushes, which it's not a big project, you'll see, and it's should go fairly quickly. So just a little update here. The Sox are currently winning. I'm just joking. I'm sure we don't have a lot of sports fans that watch me and watch sports. Maybe not. I'm not a huge sports fan myself. I like to have it on the background. Anyways, client just called me back up. He's at the track. He thinks he narrowed it down of what's going on. The pins on the actual clip that would clip into the TPS are loose. He said you can wiggle them a little bit. He said as soon as you wiggle them, you either lose signal or you gain signal. So, of course, he said he didn't bring his depinning tools there, which I guess, why would you? Now he will further on out. So I was just coming up with other ideas, trying to get the actual connector just needs to be a little bit tighter. We do see this a fair amount because it seems like a lot of harnesses are getting outsourced, and the connections, the terminals are becoming a little bit, I want to say cheaper, they're looser. So I even told them I'm just trying to brainstorm as we're talking, and I said, maybe if you can't find anybody without depinning tools, take some old wire. I said you got to be careful because you don't want to short anything out, and stuff it in that terminal that is that's extra loose, just so when you plug it into the TPS, it's tighter. So that's what we're going for. And after I think a light bulb went off in his head, and he said, "Bob, you're a genius," which it's just that's what I'm trying to think of, how to fix something quickly at the track. And all it can take is a phone call or a text message, and that's why he has access to me, and why I give myself that time, even on a family day. Doesn't matter. I'm trying to help people. So if there's a follow-up to it, which I'm going to ask him what he did, how everything worked, I'll follow up one more time, just so you guys have a little bit of an ending, a conclusion of what happened. So just wanted to update. Just got done with the movie. Definitely a good movie. If you got kids, I'd recommend it. Funny thing is, too, I didn't know what the movie was about, and long story short, it was about a father that had his own store, and ultimately was going to hand it down to his daughter. And I won't ruin too much more of it, but I recommend it. So I'm in the shed looking for a rake. I knew I had one before, and I knew the screw kind of broke, and that's why I bought the duct tape. Well, I must have threw it out. So The kids won't mind. I don't even know if they're going to use it, so they'll just have to use their hand. I'm going to get the extension cord, get started on the bushes. I'll show you what I got to cut. See the 2 bushes I got to cut. They're right in the middle of the walkway's right in the middle. And they're getting to a point where you're getting hit in the face walking through them, so let's get to it. I don't know if we're going to get a storm here. It's really, really windy out. We got rain, pretty good storm yesterday night, so I'm going to get to town. Have the kids come out. I told them I'll start with 1 bush, finish that, they can come in, clean it up, and then I'll start on the next one.
Welcome back to our Sunday family afternoon.
So they make fun of me now, and they got that on video, but got 1 bush down. That was fairly quick. Good thing is, too, a little windy, so the little leaves will get picked up by the wind, and my recommendation is always cut your bushes a couple days before your grass guy has to come. I don't cut my grass just because it's way too big and it takes me way too much time. And we're done. So, probably not perfect. Probably did some stuff wrong. Probably cut the wrong direction or whatever. Never claimed I was a perfectionist when it came to yard work. You could definitely walk through them now. The kids helped. I told them they didn't have to worry about the small little leaves. If I had a rake, it might be a different story. More so, getting them out there, trying to really have them understand the, understand money and that whole concept. They get chores to do, but they really don't have to do them unless they're trying to make money to buy something. It's just, as I said, trying for them to fully get, what working does, and ultimately, when you get older, you have to, money's just not given to you. But as far as my oldest one that you might have heard her making some comments early on in the video, she was joking around. She really doesn't have that big of an issue helping me. My littlest one, it's a different story. My whole thing is, though, she'll complain when she's doing it. She'll kind of drag the whole project out a little bit. As I told her, the faster you get it done, the faster you can be inside. It is hot. I get that. And it would be a different story if I had them working all weekend, which I don't. Like I said, they barely have any chores to do. Every now and then, I'll ask them for help, and hey, help me clean out the dishwasher, or they do their own laundry, so that's a plus too. But that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little segment that wasn't automotive related.